You know, after going back and playing Battle Network, I think what I really want at that June Nintendo Direct is a Battle Network game for the Nintendo Switch. I know it's not gonna happen, but it would be pretty cool if it did happen. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to A Look Back, a series on the channel where I take a look at an older game and look back at how it plays, the story, the gameplay, and how well it holds up based on first impressions of that game. And today's game is gonna be from a series that hasn't really seen the light of day in many years, and that is MegaMan. MegaMan Battle Network to be more specific, though I'll be honest, I don't see MegaMan being tossed around by Capcom either, which is a huge bummer. Now, MegaMan Battle Network is placed in a separate timeline than the regular MegaMan world, so the world is entirely different from other Mega Man games, which leads to some interesting interpretations of these characters, including Mega Man himself. There are a lot of Mega Man Battle Network games, 6 in fact, and had a ton of spin-offs of that game as well. The first Mega Man Battle Network game was in October of 2021 and did so well that it even got an anime in March of 2022, which is pretty interesting. This anime had 3 seasons, which from memory were really entertaining and fun to watch, though I may have to go back and watch that again because that might just be the nostalgia glasses kind of clouding my vision. So when you boot up the game, you're introduced to this screen, which pretty much sets up the big bad for the series, and that is, it's the WWW. Yep, that's right, the WWW, which is both dumb and funny at the same time. It's very 2000-y. Now, the leader of this organization is Dr. I swear to God, these names. It's Dr. Willie. Is it Wily? It's either Willie or Wily. But anyways, he's the creator of Zero, if you guys didn't know, which in my opinion is the cooler character compared to Mega Man. I'm just saying, he's a lot better. Now, the game will start you off by introducing you to Lan and his classmates. Lan, by the way, is the main character, and his NetNavi, which essentially is his Pokemon, so to speak, is Mega Man. And I gotta say, as soon as I jumped in this game, I got a blast of nostalgia. I don't know what it was, to be honest. I don't know if it's the art style or the graphics or just the soundtrack, but I was immediately transported back to my childhood. Now, character design wise, on the main character, I'd say it's pretty good. You know, it's not that bad. It's not outrageous or strange or anything. It's a nice style. And the same goes for the other characters as well. Aside from one character, which is just a side character, and it just does not look right. It reminds me of that one time in Detective Pikachu when Ditto was mimicking the human, and, you know, that yellow blush on its cheek just makes it even more suspicious. But anyways, the art style is pretty nice, and it holds up well for this game. Now, when we actually get into the network side of things, that's a bit of a different story because there are some complaints I have with the world design. Eventually, the game makes you talk to your friends, and then you get to get into the open world area, which is just a few blocks of streets, but it's still nice. And the reason why I appreciate it is because I do draw, and sometimes I occasionally animate, and the animation that goes into the walking and just the overall design of the characters is really nice, and I appreciate the amount of work that they put into it. It's simple, but it's nice at the same time. I've been wanting to get into pixel animation myself, so it's kind of cool to see on what kind of frames they use for different characters and different motions. With that being said, there is one giant complaint I have about the aesthetic of the open world, and that's the background of all of these places. For some reason, they chose to have just a blank green screen as the background, which they could have easily just put a drawing in the background that simulated the ground and the sky. I don't know, I just thought that was really weird and awkward. But other than that, the hub of the overworld is pretty nice. With that being said, eventually we get to Jack In, which just sounds a bit wrong now that I'm saying it out loud, but eventually we get to play as Mega Man. I'm starting to wonder if the devs really thought that one through when they made that up. Now, I gotta say, when we're playing as Mega Man in all of these different levels, I gotta say, again, that background is just strange. This time, instead of having a flat green screen, it has these animation loops, which sometimes are nice, yeah, but again, I think they could have did something entirely different to make it better. I think most of the thought and design was in the actual structures that you walk on themselves because they are really appealing. The place is littered with different robots and different aesthetics. It's really nice, but it's just those backgrounds that just don't make it fit. Now, this is where you get the tutorial. So Battle Network game is kind of a tactical game. You're gonna need some strategy to win. Now, you know, this being a 2002 game, I thought this was gonna be really easy. I went in a little half-cocked, and I'm gonna be honest, I kinda died a couple times. Like, if you turn off your brain and just play this game, you will die. Well, at least I'll die. I don't know about you guys, but I died a couple times. The gameplay is still fun though, don't get me wrong. Now in this game, to attack you use battle chips which hold various attacks, and sometimes different characters as well. They're essentially summons. Each chip can also cover different amounts of the board, so one chip could cover one row and another one could cover the one to the left and right. Choosing different chips based on how the enemy moves is very important as well. If one moves too much, like these rabbit robots, you don't want to use a sword. You want to use something that you can shoot at long range, especially considering that their attacks are pretty fast. But if you look at the character's animation and not the actual attack itself, it's pretty easy to guess when they're gonna attack. Now you can stack these chips 5 times each time the bar fills up by pressing R1 or L1. Now the cool thing about this, and it's something that I find really fun and adds to the collecting of these battle chips, is that each chip has a letter on it. For example, if you have 4 cannons that are all L's, you can stack them all at once and use all 4 of them, which is pretty powerful. With that being said, if you do have, say, 2 L's and 2 M's, then you can't use all 4 together and you can only use 2. There are also some items that you can use with anything that increase the attack, or some items will actually heal you, others will summon different characters. It's a pretty cool battle system in my opinion, and something I really enjoy. Now in some ways you could say that this is just an excuse to have players spend more time collecting these and trading them, which is actually a thing. This does actually have multiplayer, and this was back when we needed a cord to trade things. Really showing my age here, but that's what we did back then. We had no Wi-Fi, we had to use a cable, which is another reason why I really hope Battle Network makes that list of games from the Game Boy Advance emulator that was leaked out from the Nintendo Switch online service, assuming this is true, and it will happen. But anyways, I didn't feel like it took away from the game. It made me want to collect even more, and I enjoyed it so far. Now, you can only hold up to 30 chips in your deck, or folder as they call it in the game. Not only that, but you can only hold a certain amount of RAM, which is upgradable by the way. You can find things around the open world that will increase your RAM, which means you can use different kind of characters. And of course, different kind of chips as well, but the characters are really cool. The game also does limit how much chips of the same kind you can use as well, which makes a lot of sense because there are some chips that are more useful than others, especially the ones that don't have to require you to be close up to the enemy. So I can understand why they made that move to balance the game out more, especially considering that there was multiplayer in this game, so you can definitely tell that they wanted to balance the game, especially for that multiplayer component. Overall, so far, the combat works really well, especially for the enemy types that are used in this game. There are some interesting ones too. Now, the game does have its simple enemies, like the miners that slam the ground with a pickaxe and sends a shock towards you, which sometimes can kill you if you're not paying attention. But these simple enemies usually can be killed pretty quickly with at least a cannon which does 40 damage, and it kills it in one hit. The problem really comes in when you have multiple different enemy types that kind of block your path sometimes, or it makes you change up your strategy. Like for instance, the giant fan enemy with the beetle character, or whatever it's supposed to be. It does look like a beetle. If you have those two characters in a battle, the problem is the fan pulls you back, and you also have the beetle which kind of tracks your movement. The beetle's attack essentially hits all 3 rows that you're on, so you either have to move forward, which sometimes if you move forward too fast or too early, you'll just get pulled back from the other fan character and get hit anyway, so you gotta be careful with timing and paying attention on where you're going. The game isn't just straight easy, there is some difficulty to it, which is nice. Not only that, but using certain type of weapons for those characters is also needed as well. If a character jumps around too much like the rabbit, then a sword would be better, which I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in this video, but I'll say it again anyways. Now on the flip side, you do also get the enemy's attacks eventually when you pick them up after defeating the enemy. One useful tool that I found was the fan character, which you can essentially summon the same character as the enemy and it will block the shots. You can essentially use that as cover and just keep on shooting the turret, which again is another enemy character in the game. So you can see how all of these different mechanics play together and form a pretty fun battle system. Now when talking about the leveling system, this game doesn't really have a traditional level system that you usually see in RPG games, which is kind of a nice change of pace to be honest, though the grinder in me really does want to level up to an insane level straight from the start, which is kind of one of my bad RPG habits, and one of the reasons why my back catalog is so long. But there are ways to increase your health and your RAM and different parts of your character to make it stronger. You just gotta find the items in the open world or buy them from vendors. Now speaking a little on the open world or level design, I should say, oh my god, this level was so annoying. This level right here, it was infuriating. I don't know what happened, I don't know what I was doing, but you have to basically, so annoying. You guys have no idea. it made me so angry. So eventually your friend is in trouble and you have to save her, and this gas thing is on the fritz and you need to go into her PC and figure out what the heck is going on. And I swear, this gave me some flashbacks from the ice puzzles from Pokemon Emerald all over again. It was infuriating. The timing on these little cloud puffs are so confusing and so annoying. In my first run, I got pushed back so many times, and I don't know if I was just too dumb to know when to actually move or not, but I don't know what happened. It was infuriating. Now, I eventually, of course, got through it, but I don't know if it's like pixel perfect or something. I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm glad I got past it and I eventually got through it. If the dev who made this game is watching, just know you've caused me a lot of frustration and a lot of pain. But, yeah. Screw this level. With that being said, the level of this boss is pretty easy. His attacks are pretty predictable, and there's a pattern that you could easily see. So, you would think that I would be able to easily beat this, right? Nope. I died a couple times. I don't know if it's just I haven't played these games in a long time and that's why I suck, but yeah, I died a couple times. I eventually won though. Now, I do have to say, the bathroom being cleared with smoke, I already knew what was gonna happen. I knew exactly where they were going with this. I watch a lot of anime. I know exactly what the devs were gonna do with this story. And if you watch anime, you probably know exactly where they're going. And this is a kid's game, so I didn't really expect it. Like, I kind of knew that they were gonna go that area, but at the same time, I'm like, surely not, right? This is a kid's game. But no, they went there. Now, story-wise, the villain's reasoning for doing this is kind of just dumb and kind of hilarious at the same time. It's very 2000-y. So basically, the villain wanted to be the bad guy and he wanted to poison the rich kid until the parents gave him money and, you know, eventually stopped. It's definitely something you'd expect from, say, a WB Kids TV show back in the 2000s. But what I didn't expect was the villain getting a bomb set off in his store, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure he's gone. Now, this is as far as I got in the game so far, but so far I am enjoying it. I'm kind of surprised. I was going to do 3 Game Boy Advance games in this video, but to be honest, I kind of want to finish this game and do a full review for you guys. So I guess part 2 of this is coming soon or whenever I finish the game. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. It's much appreciated and helps with my channel, and subscribe for the review for this game and other things that I will do with this kind of topic. If you guys want me to check out any other classic games from the Game Boy Advance or even older systems or newer systems, make sure you tell me in the comment section below. Just drop them in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.